Just beyond this vibrant coral reef begins one of the greatest mysteries on Earth. Beneath these calm blue waters lies a world so vast and so unexplored that scientists estimate more than 95% of it has never been fully explored. Hidden below are underwater mountain ranges longer than any on land, enormous canyons, active volcanoes, and countless species that have never been observed alive by humans. Every scientific expedition into the deep has the potential to discover something completely new, reminding us that our own planet still holds extraordinary secrets. Our journey begins here, in the sunlight zone, the upper layer of the ocean where sunlight reaches the water and makes life possible. Coral reefs thrive in these warm, shallow seas and are often called the rainforests of the ocean. Although reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they provide food and shelter for nearly a quarter of all known marine species. Colorful fish weave through the coral, sea turtles glide effortlessly across the reef, and predators patrol the surrounding waters. This is one of the richest ecosystems on Earth, supported by energy from the sun. But the reef is only the beginning. As we move farther from the light, the ocean changes rapidly. The brilliant colors begin to disappear. Red is the first color to vanish, followed by orange and yellow, until nearly everything is transformed into shades of blue. The water grows colder, quieter, and more mysterious. Soon, the coral reef fades behind us, replaced by an endless blue expanse stretching into darkness. We are now entering the Twilight Zone, a region that extends from approximately 200 to 1,000 meters below the surface. Only a faint trace of sunlight reaches these depths, far too little for plants to survive through photosynthesis. The pressure increases dramatically with every meter we descend, creating an environment where only specially adapted animals can survive. Exploring this region is one of the greatest engineering challenges in marine science. Modern research vessels, remotely operated vehicles, and deep-diving submersibles allow scientists to investigate places that were completely inaccessible only a few decades ago. Yet even today, every expedition returns with discoveries that surprise researchers around the world. As the final traces of daylight disappear above us, something unusual begins to appear in the darkness. Tiny blue lights flash silently in the distance, drifting through the black water like stars in a night sky. What are these mysterious lights? And what kind of creatures could possibly create their own light in a place where sunlight never reaches? Our descent into the unknown has only just begun. As we move deeper into the darkness, those mysterious blue flashes become impossible to ignore. One by one, tiny lights appear around us, glowing briefly before disappearing into the black water. They seem almost magical, but this is not magic. It is one of nature's most remarkable survival strategies, known as bioluminescence. Unlike light produced by the sun, bioluminescence is created inside the bodies of living organisms through a chemical reaction. When a light-producing molecule called luciferin reacts with oxygen, aided by an enzyme known as luciferase, energy is released as visible light. This process is incredibly efficient, producing almost no heat. Scientists often call it cold light. In the deep ocean, where sunlight never reaches, producing light can mean the difference between life and death. Some animals flash brilliant signals to attract mates across the darkness. Others use glowing patterns to communicate with members of their own species. Certain predators wave glowing lures to tempt curious prey within striking distance, while many smaller creatures suddenly release bright flashes to confuse predators and escape. In fact, biologists estimate that a large majority of animals living in the open, deep ocean are capable of producing light in one form or another. As we continue our descent, another extraordinary shape slowly begins to emerge from the darkness. At first, it looks like a long, transparent ribbon drifting silently through the water. But this is not a single animal. It is a giant siphonophore, one of the longest animals ever discovered on Earth. Some species can grow to lengths exceeding 40 meters, making them longer than a blue whale, although they are far more delicate. What makes the siphonophore truly remarkable is that it is not one individual organism. It is a living colony made up of thousands of tiny genetically identical animals called zooids. Each zooid performs a specialized role. Some capture prey with stinging tentacles, others digest food. Some are responsible for reproduction, while others help the colony remain buoyant or move through the water. Alone, each zooid could never survive. Together, they function as a single, perfectly coordinated superorganism. For countless years, creatures like the siphonophore have drifted through these dark waters, unseen by human eyes. Yet our journey is taking us even deeper. Ahead, a faint orange glow begins to appear in the distance. It is not produced by living creatures, and it is not sunlight. Something else is waiting for us in the darkness. Something that will change our understanding of how life survives on Earth. The mysterious orange glow grows brighter with every meter we descend. At first it seems impossible. There should be no light here. We are now thousands of meters below the surface, in a world where sunlight has never reached. Yet something is illuminating the darkness ahead. As the shadows slowly clear, an astonishing landscape comes into view. Towering black chimneys rise from the ocean floor, releasing massive clouds of mineral-rich water into the freezing sea. These are hydrothermal vents, sometimes called black smokers. They are formed where seawater seeps deep into cracks in the Earth's crust, becomes intensely heated by molten rock below, and then rushes back into the ocean carrying dissolved minerals. The water erupting from these vents can exceed 350 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead under normal conditions. Yet because of the immense pressure at these depths, the water does not boil. Instead, it rises in dark, swirling plumes that create one of the most extraordinary environments on our planet. When scientists first discovered hydrothermal vents in 1977 near the Galapagos Rift, the discovery completely changed our understanding of life on Earth. Until then, researchers believed that every major ecosystem ultimately depended on sunlight for its energy. But here was an entire community of living organisms thriving in total darkness, thousands of meters below the surface. Around the vents, life flourishes in astonishing abundance. Crabs crawl across the rocky seafloor. Shrimp gather in dense swarms around the warm, mineral-rich water. Strange white clams cluster together where conditions are just right. Every available surface seems alive. Instead of a barren wasteland, the deep ocean reveals one of the richest ecosystems ever discovered beneath the sea. For scientists, these hidden oases offer more than biological wonders. They provide clues about how life may have first appeared on Earth billions of years ago. Some researchers even believe that environments like these could exist beneath the icy oceans of distant moons such as Europa and Enceladus, making hydrothermal vents important not only for marine biology, but also for the search for life beyond our planet. But among all the remarkable creatures living around these vents, one species has puzzled scientists more than any other. Towering above the seafloor are giant red-plumed tube worms. They have no mouth, no stomach, and no digestive system. Yet somehow, they continue to grow and thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their secret is even more extraordinary than the vents themselves. Standing silently around the hydrothermal vents are some of the strangest animals ever discovered. These towering giants are called giant tube worms, scientifically known as Riftia pachyptila. Some individuals grow to more than 2 meters in length, making them among the largest invertebrates living in the deep sea. Their bright red plumes sway gently in the warm, mineral-rich water, creating one of the most remarkable sights in the ocean's depths. At first glance, these animals seem impossible. Every animal on Earth must obtain energy to survive. Most eat plants or other animals. Yet giant tube worms have no mouth, no teeth, no stomach, and no digestive system. They cannot hunt, graze, or even swallow food. For many years after their discovery, scientists were completely puzzled. How could such large animals survive in total darkness without eating? The answer turned out to be one of the greatest discoveries in modern biology. Hidden inside the bodies of these tube worms are billions of microscopic bacteria. Instead of digesting food, the worms provide these bacteria with hydrogen sulfide, oxygen, and carbon dioxide collected from the surrounding water. In return, the bacteria perform a remarkable process known as chemosynthesis. Unlike plants, which use sunlight to produce energy through photosynthesis, these bacteria use chemical energy released from hydrogen sulfide. They convert those chemicals into organic nutrients that feed both themselves and the tube worms. It is a perfect partnership. Neither organism could survive here alone, but together they flourish in one of the harshest environments on Earth. This discovery completely transformed our understanding of life. Before hydrothermal vents were explored, scientists believed that nearly every ecosystem on Earth ultimately depended on energy from the sun. The vent communities proved otherwise. Entire ecosystems could exist in complete darkness, powered entirely by the Earth's internal heat and chemistry. Today, hydrothermal vent ecosystems continue to fascinate scientists around the world. They offer clues about how the earliest life on Earth may have survived billions of years ago, long before oxygen filled our atmosphere. Some researchers even believe that similar environments could exist beneath the frozen oceans of distant worlds, such as Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. If life can survive here without sunlight, perhaps it can survive elsewhere in our solar system as well. But our journey is not over. Far below these extraordinary ecosystems lies an even more extreme environment. Ahead is the deepest known place on Earth, the Mariana Trench, a realm of crushing pressure, eternal darkness, and life that has adapted to conditions once thought impossible. Our descent has brought us to the deepest known place in Earth's oceans, the Mariana Trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean. Within this immense underwater canyon lies the Challenger Deep, reaching nearly 11,000 meters below sea level. If Mount Everest were placed inside this trench, its summit would still remain more than 2 kilometers beneath the ocean's surface. It is one of the most extreme environments ever explored by humans. At these depths, the pressure exceeds 1,000 times the atmospheric pressure at sea level. Every square centimeter is subjected to an enormous force that would instantly crush an ordinary submarine. The temperature hovers just above freezing. Sunlight has never reached these waters, and complete darkness has existed here for millions of years. For a long time, scientists believed that such conditions made complex life impossible. They were wrong. Modern deep-sea expeditions have revealed an astonishing variety of life living in this seemingly impossible environment. Delicate snailfish glide slowly above the sea floor, specially adapted to survive pressures that would destroy most other vertebrates. Giant amphipods search the sediment for food, while sea cucumbers, tiny worms, and countless microorganisms quietly recycle nutrients on the ocean floor. Each discovery reminds us that life is remarkably adaptable, even in places once considered completely uninhabitable. Yet every expedition also raises new questions. Researchers continue to discover previously unknown species in the deep ocean, and many areas of the seafloor have never been directly observed. Vast underwater mountain chains, deep canyons, hidden volcanic systems, and enormous abyssal plains remain only partially mapped. The deeper scientists explore, the more they realize how much remains unknown. As we begin our journey back toward the surface, the darkness slowly gives way to faint traces of blue. Layer by layer, the ocean transforms once again. The mysterious creatures of the deep disappear behind us. The water becomes brighter, and eventually the familiar coral reef comes back into view. We have completed an incredible journey from the vibrant surface to the deepest known part of our planet. But perhaps the most astonishing discovery is not a single animal or a hidden landscape. It is the realization that this journey explored only a tiny fraction of Earth's oceans. Scientists estimate that more than 95% of the ocean remains unexplored or insufficiently studied. Countless species are still waiting to be discovered. Entire ecosystems may exist beyond the reach of today's technology. Every expedition uncovers new mysteries instead of final answers. For generations, humanity has looked toward the stars in search of the unknown. Yet one of the greatest frontiers of exploration has always been much closer to home. Beneath the waves of our own planet lies a world filled with mysteries that continue to challenge science and inspire discovery. The next great chapter of exploration may not begin in outer space. It may begin in the silent depths of Earth's oceans. The ocean still keeps most of its secrets. And perhaps that is what makes it one of the greatest mysteries on Earth. The ocean still holds countless secrets waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed exploring the hidden world beneath the waves, subscribe to Wild Xeno and join us on more incredible journeys into nature's greatest mysteries. Every week, we uncover amazing wildlife, unexplored places, and true stories from our extraordinary planet. Until next time, keep exploring, keep wondering, and never stop discovering.